Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Analyst forecasts 27x XRP rally from all-time high to $90. Identifies 68-month accumulation. And folks, it is crazy to think that it's been 68 months since XRP last hit an all-time high. 68 months. We are coming up on 6 years at the beginning part of January. Damn it. Although, without the SEC, you know where I stand on this. Without the SEC, I think it would have happened by now. To me, it seems like a virtual certainty here, but still. A lot of people within our community have been talking about the perspective from this particular analyst, so I thought I'd give my 2 cents on this, even though I'm not the type to make price predictions, and I don't want to get into chart analysis. That's not something that really tickles my fancy, as it were. But some of what's stated here, I think, is pretty rational, just as far as, if you're talking about, an actual price prediction or even expectations of XRP when it runs going up to $90. You're not going to find me saying that. If it happens, great. That would be fantastic. And I will say the idea of XRP someday being worth $90 doesn't seem wacky to me. As long as it continues to get adopted, and especially in the future where utility will sufficiently matter, presumably, and more people and more institutions, way more money jumps into crypto, yeah, I could see, especially if there's a way bigger crypto pie, I could see that at some unknown point in the future. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but the idea of that happening, I think, is perfectly well grounded in reality. It's just when you're talking about for the next cycle, the next time XRP finally hits a new all-time high in interest price discovery, I will say I'm skeptical. That's as far as I'm going to go, because I know I'll make price predictions. I'm skeptical of it hitting quite that high, but the good news is, I don't think that the vast majority of us in the XRP community need or are expecting XRP to hit anywhere near that the next time it pops. I don't think anybody, I shouldn't say anybody, but I really don't think most in our community are really thinking that's what's most probable that you're going to see when this thing goes, it's now $90. And some do. And fair enough. It's just like, we're all entitled to our subjective perspective on what's probable. But again, for most of us, I think most of us are just going to be thrilled, because right now, XRP is worth 51 cents, right? 51 cents. Like, the multiplier effect way before, we don't need it to go to $90 for so many of us listening here. We don't need it to go to $90 to have meaningful, life-changing wealth from this thing. So it'd be great to see 90 bucks. Maybe we get surprised, but I'm just saying, I think we're all going to be pretty happy even if we're nowhere near that. Like, the blockchain backer says he's still talking about the range of what, like $10 to $13? I haven't seen him pivot from that unless I missed something from him. But that sounds sufficiently exciting and enticing. That's a massive run, right? But anyway, before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this, as I noted a moment ago, XRP is at 51 cents. Bitcoin's just a hair above $27,000. Market cap just a little over $1 trillion. And you know what I've been seeing recently? More and more analysts who I follow, who I know don't like XRP, and they kind of mock it. I've seen some analysts mock XRP and or Ripple over the years. And some of them I'll still follow anyway, because as long as they're not being vicious little troll pricks about it, then I'm just like, okay, you can be wrong about XRP. I'll still listen to you. You can be wrong about it, because nobody's right about everything, and it's okay. I don't need people to like the same crypto as me for me to think that they don't suck as a human. Like, I think that that's like Neanderthal, like that type of tribalism I despise, and I push back against it. So the fact that there are people out there who are probably perfectly fine, happy, good people in their lives, if they don't like XRP, I just think that their perspective doesn't make sense, but that's fine. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but I am noticing that recently there are more and more that think that even though they don't like XRP, they think it's going to run. And I highlighted one of them yesterday, and I've got another one for you today, which prompted me, as soon as I saw this one, I just put out the following. I wrote, I'm noticing multiple crypto chart analysts who don't like XRP now publicly stating they expect it to substantially rally. I guess they mean what they say then, with a little upside down smiley face, because I don't know what that one. But it is nice. So I do assume that, though, if it's somebody that I know isn't exactly a fan of XRP, but they're stating publicly that they do think it's going to run way higher, whatever their perspective is, I'm going to assume that they mean it, because most people wouldn't otherwise want to say that about the thing they don't really care for, right? And so there was this. This is the headline from the Daily Huddle. Here's what's in store for XRP, Chainlink, and one low-cap altcoin, according to analysts. I'm just going to cover the XRP part, but anyway, reads as follows. A widely followed crypto strategist is outlining what's on the horizon for XRP, Chainlink, and one controversial new altcoin. Looking at the cross-border payment solution first, analyst Michael Vandepop tells his 667,200 followers on the social media platform X that he's waiting for XRP to flash signs of strength. And so he is positive. In fact, here's the actual quote from him. Full retrace on this one after the win of the SEC case. Personally, I'm buying strength. This means that I'm looking for a breakout above 54 cents. A retest there is a great one for the longs. End quote. And so, yes, that's a barrier that would have to be hit here. But even he's saying, if it hits that, yep, I'm in, ready to buy the strength, and it's going to go higher. In fact, he noted, as it mentions in the article here, that if that level's breached, he thinks that XRP is probably going to rally all the way up to about 70 cents. And this is, mind you, this is somebody who, in the weeks after the SEC filed the lawsuit against Ripple, attacking XRP holders as a result, in the weeks after that, Michael Vandepop was having some fun at the expense of anybody holding XRP. He was, not that he was overly vicious, but he was putting out some wacky expectations. I'd have to go look him up to say, but it was the type of crap where it's like, yeah, XRP will probably never be above 50 cents or whatever. And so he had all these predictions about where Bitcoin would be going and other coins. And then XRP was like barely up at all. It was that type of thing. And of course, as soon as XRP did run with everything else in 2021, specifically in April, it ran up to about $2. Well, let's just say that his perspective aged like a fine milk. Just like a fine milk. All curdly and whatnot. Yum, yum, yum. So, give him a little bit of a hard time. Nothing venomous or anything, but it's like, come on, if you're going to say some silly-ass stuff, then yes, we deserve, you're publicly stating this to hundreds of thousands of people. Yes, it's okay for us in the XRP community to tease a little bit because that was a wacky opinion. That was ridiculous, and you were way off. And so I don't even know that he actually believed it, but his bias was running through to XRP. And, after that, he stated that he was actually just joking, but there was nothing in any of his posts to indicate that he was joking. He as far as I could tell, he was typing that stuff with a straight face. That's what it looked like to me. So, is what it is. But now, ever since then, I think he doesn't want that to happen again. So, I think he's done his best to remove the bias from his perspective, which is part of the reason I wanted to highlight this. Even he's saying, yeah, this could go higher. And this isn't the first time that he's been saying stuff like this. And then there's also this. Analysts forecast 27x XRP rally from all-time high to $90, identify 68-month accumulation. Now, lots of people in the community have been talking about the content of this, which stems from this post on social media platform X. And I'm going to cover this because it's an interesting conversation. And I think people it's pretty clear, are feeling a bit more confident that Bitcoin and XRP snap back just a little bit from those lows, didn't continue down as a bunch of the the doomsday people were expecting to happen. And as long as these levels do hold, which is what we should hope and expect, I would think anyway, right? Based on what I'm seeing from all sorts of analysts out there, we're probably in store for some really fun stuff. Or even if it's not instantly, even if it doesn't happen the next day or week or whatever, probably some fun stuff here. And so since a lot of people are talking about this isn't, just to be clear, even though part of this I think makes sense, especially in terms of consolidation in markets, that's a real thing, and what it means for expansion once that occurs. Okay, I'll agree with certain concepts. You don't need to be a TA guy to understand basic stuff like that. As far as the price stuff here, some of it gets a little outside the scope of what I feel comfortable with in for the next market cycle. Can you blame me though? The higher the number you tell me for this coming market cycle, with each passing dollar, I'm going to be less confident it's hit. And I think that's only reasonable, right? But it doesn't mean that we're not going to have some crazy price action. I'm counting on that, and I have been for almost 6 years now, right? But here's analyst Greg Crypto, who's been picking up quite a following lately, up to 36,000 followers on X here. And so I just thought I'd share with you his perspective here. Plus, it's a whether you agree with him or not, it's a fun topic of conversation. We can have a little fun here. We don't have to be all sad and mopey and down all the time. I mean, I'm not anyway, but but I'm going to encourage you to not be like that either. And so anyway, here's what he had to say. XRP, the power of 27x. A technical principle states the longer the consolidation, the stronger and lengthier the ensuing breakout. This post delves into that idea. And so, folks, that's what I was talking. That concept, I've shared that idea many times over the years. You don't need to be a TA guy to understand that. It is true. The longer something trades sideways, when it breaks, it's probably got some power. And so anyway, he then says, we're here to analyze XRP's price behavior on a monthly timeline. Let's look at the time spent accumulating and the potential multipliers when XRP broke those accumulation zones. I've identified 5 accumulation zones, and then he's got, for those of you that want to look here, you can see he's got the accumulation time listed on the left, and then the multiplier effect on the right. And I'm not going to read all of these. They're on your screen right now. You can kind of see these. And but the total ends up being 44 months, 27x for the multiplier, and the average being 11 months with a 6.75x multiplier. And so then here's what he says here. The current accumulation zone is so far 68 months, and the multiplier will most probably be one of the below assumptions. Let's do some math considering the all-time high of $3.30. And folks, so a couple things there. As far as the all-time high, depending on the source you go to, you're going to get a different figure. If you go to Live Coin Watch, it's $3.92. You go to CoinMarketCap, it's $3.84. Pick another platform, you're probably going to find a different price, right? So it just depends on the way that they're collecting and reporting data. So not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, there's a fair bit of a gap here. But setting that aside just for the purpose of this video, because it doesn't matter that particularly much. The point is, if it goes, it's going to go. And the multiplier effect from $3.30 or $3.92, I don't care. It's going to be bananas. So I'll be happy either way. But just think here again, this is the longest accumulation period in the history of XRP, and it wouldn't exist if the SEC hadn't attacked us. So yay, thanks for protecting us, SEC. Except for not really, but still. This would not, because I firmly believe that XRP would have hit a new all-time high in 2021, because it's the only top 10 crypto from that point in time that didn't. And it just happened to be the one that was getting... No. We would have seen it, but now you had this longer accumulation period. And it does make me wonder, what if we do have to some degree a stronger breakout than we otherwise would have last cycle, maybe. And not that I'm overly convinced of that being the case, because I think with each cycle, it's pretty clear that you kind of build upon what happened the previous cycle. And so you can still have an increased adoption clip, basically, in terms of institutional and retailers getting into XRP. But there's a whole lot of people not holding XRP right now, because for the last 2.5 years that lawsuit was going on, the worst parts of it, those people were turned off. They weren't putting the money in, right? So the damage was done, and it's not fixed just because XRP is legal clarity. But anyway, so he then says, let's do the math considering the all-time high of $3.30. Assumption number 1, 27x from all-time high is nearly $90. Okay, so folks, you know I love me some XRP. You know I think it's going to hit a new all-time high. You know I think it's going to melt faces. That's what I'm betting on. And I could be wrong, it goes to 0, but I doubt I'm wrong. But when I see $90 for the next cycle, I just don't find that to be the most probable. I'd love to see it, because sometimes wacky stuff does happen in crypto. But whoa. Now, nor do I need... I tell you what, if it starts running up, like, I will be out well before that, okay? I'm intentionally... Because, like, so many people, when something finally goes, they start worrying about selling too soon, and they get so greedy that they end up selling way after price starts to collapse. I'm not going to be one of those people. And if that does mean I get out way too soon, I don't care. I set a general range for where I'm going to sell to where it is supremely life-changing for me. And if it keeps running past that, cool. Good for the rest of you. I won't care. I'll be happy for you. But I know that there's going to be some jerks out there still going to give me crap about it. I'm going to be like, well, that doesn't make any damn sense. That would make as much sense as me bitching at you and being an idiot because you didn't pick the winning lottery numbers for last week's lottery. Jerk face. So, if anybody, I'm sure it's the internet, so somebody will be like that, though, right? Not most people, but... And he says assumption 2. 6.75x from all-time high is approximately $22. Assumption 3. Lowest multiplier, 2x from all-time high, is roughly $6.60. Assumption 4. Highest multiplier, 14x from all-time high, is about $46. So I'll just say this. If we only got a 2x from the previous all-time high, I think that would be a bit disappointing, but I will say for me, I will have mostly exited my XRP position by then, I hope. Unless something goes horrifically wrong. That would be, because I'll start selling a little bit. This is my thought right now anyway. And if it changes, I'll be transparent about that. I just don't want to say how much I have of XRP. But I'm probably going to start just selling a little bit when it gets to, XRP gets to about $5. That would be sufficiently enticing to unload for the first time ever a little bit. Because I've never sold XRP in my entire life. I'm patient AF, my friends. So then when you talk about getting up to like closer to the $7 range, yeah. And then I'll have from $7 to $8, I'll barely have any XRP left, relatively speaking. We'll see what that is. And then I'll hopefully be entirely scaled out by the time $8 rolls around. So that's my thought right now, because if I start scaling out from $5 to $8, or even just $5 to $7, I'm good, man. I put in a lot of money, relatively speaking. It's subjective. For me, that would be up to $8. That would be over a 3,000% price increase. So yeah, you can laugh at me for selling if it keeps going, and I don't care. Because I will be sitting there just counting dollar bills, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then so he says, in my personal opinion, remember, the longer the base, the higher the rise. This 27x surge combines all previous multipliers will be in play. It says, XRP Army, stay steady, because I strongly believe the next bull market for XRP will mint numerous XRP millionaires. Yeah, and so I'll just say this. I think that's going to be true. I don't think it's most people that jump into crypto and make it just in general. But the cool thing is the opportunity is there for the everyday person. That has always been what is so exciting and incredible. You can be a regular, everyday person of modest means. You can put in not a crazy amount of money and still have life-changing wealth. That's been, to me, it's mind-blowing that crypto can deliver that type of stuff. Because anywhere else in life you hear something like that, it's probably a Ponzi scheme. But in crypto, I mean, just do you trust the code or do you not trust the code? You know, if it's decentralized, it's decentralized. So I do think it'll be a lot of millionaires minted, even if it's not most people that are going to get to that level. The point is, for everybody listening, wouldn't you agree that the opportunity is at least there for it to perhaps happen? You know, and fine, on the flip side, then the opportunity is there for all of us to ride this bitch to zero, which I will do if necessary. But I don't think that's what's going to be covered here. So anyway, it's just, the cool thing is I suspect that unless we get a wild card event, we are well past the worst of this crap. I remember being roughly in this position in the cycles 4 years ago, back in 2019, and we started having some fun not long after that, didn't we? So let's just see what happens, and not that history literally repeats, but it kind of rhymes with itself. So I have a suspicion that in the not-too-distant future, it's just going to get more and more fun. Even if that means next year or whatever. I'm still going to be here. I'm just going to be patient AF. It's coming, folks. It's an inevitability so far as I'm concerned. Not literally, but I just feel really strongly about it. Can you blame me? Can you blame me? I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.